water porting.
They're talking about wakeboarding. The thing about wakeboarding, every trick is an invert. Backside. One-side air railing. A new dimension.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Grab Matters podcast. Today we have a very special guest on. His name is Thomas Herman. For those who don't know, he is a professional wakeboarder focusing on the boat side of things. He's from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He moved just down to Orlando a few years ago to pursue his professional wakeboarding career. He is the first rider to land a triple flip behind the boat, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. Also his upbringing, also his views on the sport, where it is right now, where he thinks it could go and should go. And a bunch of other stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right. We're back with another episode of the Grab Matters podcast. Today we have Thomas Herman on the pod. Herman, how you doing?
Go, dude. Thanks for having me on, bro. I'm stoked.
Thanks for coming on. So we were talking before the pod about, usually I start with the early days of someone's life and kind of work through everything. I say we just dive right into the triple flip because I feel like a lot of people want to hear about it. And it's fresh. So let's just dive right into it. I feel like there's a bunch of questions I could ask. One of which is, how many followers have you gained since the trick was landed?
Almost. I think I'm like 100 followers off from 6,000 new ones.
Just straight up from the triple.
And it's been what? It's Tuesday. What is it? 4 days? 3 days?
What days?
I don't know. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's been a few days.
Six. Especially the first day was like, it was like 4,000 or something. These last 2 days have been like a little slower, but it's crazy.
Well, you got X Games posting it. You got just all sorts of people posting it.
Yeah, dude. How hype was that, bro? I saw the X Games notification. I was like, oh my God, that's so sick. And then I clicked on it and it had the collab. And I was like, no way they asked me to collab on this. Let's go, dude.
X Games back in wakeboarding, maybe.
Dude, that was all the comments. Just
bring it back.
Bring it back, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I hope so. Let's just kind of run it from the beginning of before this event. How many times... what was the process of learning the triple, and how many times have you tried it, would you say, before?
Yeah, so, the whole thing started back in 2021, which is, the first year I moved down here. That was, the first year that I started attempting it. And, yeah, I don't, how it kind of all started, that was, okay, let's think. I hit my first double up, a week before Masters in my rookie year. I was going to Masters. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to hit a double up. So I hit steel up, and he taught me how to hit a double up. And then fast forward 5 months, and that was when I tried my first triple.
Really?
Yeah. So I think it kind of, the double back row kind of just quickly became the most common trick that I did off the double up. And then I think I just posted on some big ones on Instagram and stuff, and all the comments were like, dude, you need to do a triple. This is the man for the triple. I was like, why not, dude? Let's give it a shot. So, after the season ended, I think I attempted 12 in 2021.
Okay.
Just kind of like a trial and error, looking back on it now. And then the next year, 2022, I only tried one, which was in the double or nothing contest. And then the week leading up to it, I was just doing a bunch of double back rolls, just practicing. And then this year was really the year where I gave it the hardest crack, 100%. So
those first 12 though, would you say you were close on any of them, or was it?
Yeah, 100%. But it was more, I think back then it was I'm edging into these, hoping it works out, compared to this year I'm edging and knowing I'm gonna land thinking I'm gonna land it.
So it was early days. It was kind of hucking and
yeah.
You were getting them around them.
Yeah, for sure. There were definitely a couple hard crashes, but then a couple really, really close ones. Yeah. But I think I knew from the first one that I ever tried, it was a pretty good attempt, and I knew right then I was I can do this.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. So it was just a matter of time.
Yeah, for sure.
So, there's so much to unpack on the triple, but had you landed one before this event?
No.
So it's a true...
Yeah. So many people thought I did. So many people thought I was gatekeeping it, but no, I swear.
That adds a whole nother layer to this whole triple thing.
Dude, I think if I did, I told a handful of people this. I think if I landed it before the event, I don't know if it would have happened in the event. Because, obviously I would have wanted to do it again in the double or nothing contest, but I don't think I would have been as motivated, for sure, I wouldn't have cared if I didn't do it in the contest, because I would have done it beforehand and still done the first triple flip, Yeah,
the pressure of the contest, or maybe not the pressure, but the bigness of the contest was something that I would imagine help give you that little extra adrenaline boost or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
How many attempts would you say that you've put into it total?
It was, I think I landed it on the 30th attempt.
Really?
Yeah. So then I think like 12 or 13 in 2022, just one in 2021, and then one in 2022, and then 15 leading into double or nothing.
Okay. So you did say that you hit up Steele, and he is, I mean, I'm sure there's been some others that have tried a triple on a boat.
Yeah.
Some people come to mind, but Steele is kind of one of the most famous ones who
Yeah.
really made a push to do the triple.
Yeah. I think Steele is like the only other person that like really gave it a solid effort. For sure.
And his was a different triple though. So did you talk to him at all about doing this trick?
Yeah. Steele's one of my good friends. Like we go on the boat all the time and stuff and hang out. And I don't like, we definitely talked about it. Not like technical terms of like how it's gonna like happen and stuff. Just like I feel like how sick it's gonna be when like it happens, you know.
Because I guess he couldn't really impart any wisdom, I guess, because he never landed one, and it was a different triple that he had been trying.
Yeah, I mean he definitely gave me like tips and stuff, like mindset and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this might be a kooky question, but were there any like doubters that people who after you tried a few? And the hype is being built up that like the triple could go down at double or nothing. Were there anyone that was like, no, there's no fucking way that like? I
don't think I've personally like heard anyone say it. Maybe behind my back, I don't know, but I don't think I've seen any comments. Like all the comments I see on like Instagram, TikTok, and stuff was like, bro, you got this. And that's part of like the hype for me was like all these people backing me up and like it was just building my confidence, you know. So
yeah, everyone believed in that.
Yeah, definitely helped me out.
T-Herm triple. How crucial was your recent hairstyle change for landing a triple?
Very, very, very crucial. Very crucial.
I'll throw in a picture because you have a hat on now, but I'll throw in a pic of.
Dude, cheat it up. I for sure flipped like so much faster. 100%.
Speaking of Steele's triple, why is it the triple back roll that, I mean, you kind of explained a little bit earlier.
Dude,
but
Steele, bro, I don't know how in the world you would ever try triple cab. Like, dude, you're going straight to your face on a triple cab. Why would you ever do that? Like, what? Triple back roll, you're at least going to your back. It's not going to hurt nearly as bad. Yeah. And that was when I first learned double flips. Double back roll was, I first did double cab on the cable, I think when I was like 14. And then when I was 16, I learned double back roll on the boat. But that was the biggest factor for me was I'm going to do double back roll because I'm at least going to my back. Not to my face. Yeah. For sure. So I think, when it came to the triple back roll for sure.
So on this specific one, I watched it back and I mean, you stomped the piss out of it pretty much, but you didn't connect fully with the double.
Yeah, it was a little bit early, huh?
So is there room for a quad?
I don't know about for me. So I'll let someone else do that one, I think.
More realistically though, is the triple going to be something that is regularly put down for you? Is that going to be something that you're working towards on the double ups to throw down the triple?
We'll see. I'm never going to say no. Cause I do think I'd definitely try it again and, give it another crack. Right. Like when I go try one next week, probably not just cause like it was a challenge, dude. And it was like easily the hardest thing that I've ever put myself through. But yeah. No, never say no to the future for sure. I'm sure I'd give it another crack.
So you'll keep it around, but not something you're going to be doing every week.
Yeah,
it's a
for sure.
Big consequence trick, I have to imagine. Thinking about grabbing it in the future?
Yeah, dude. So double back roll is going to be grabbed in the contest pass next year. The only thing, like, I didn't want to mess up. I think to grab my double back roll, I've just done like hundreds of double back rolls how I do now. I think I got to like basically like relearn the double back roll. And I didn't want to like mess up the triple by like relearning it and doing it a different way.
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah.
I mean, the triple has to be landed before you can grab one, before you can do all this other stuff, right?
Yeah. So like, no, we're grabbing the double back roll and we're gonna
natural progression.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
So when you land, I mean, run through the day of double or nothing. So like run through the entire day of double or nothing and maybe the riding order that was chosen the night before.
Yeah, night before was so sick. We met up at this place called The Hall and did a little dinner and picked the riding order. And it was so sick. I was literally thinking it was like playing cards. So like you can pull like an 8 or like a jack is you're up at like 11th off the dock. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, dude, number 6 would be so sick. Like it'd be perfect. Like not super early, but it'd probably be like around like noon or so. Walked up, dude, pulled 6. I was like, yup. it's going my way, dude. And then, dude, even that night, I didn't have the best night of sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't fall asleep for like an hour and a half because I was literally just thinking about the triple. And I'm not even joking, dude. I was literally just thinking about like coming home with the belt the next day. Like,
well, you posted.
I was like I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but like I was pretty confident, you know.
That's wild, dude. Okay, so then morning of the contest, run through everything there.
Yeah. What did we do? Got to the contest, just had a little riders meeting, got hyped, and then the double up started. Everyone started sending it, and I mean, at a contest, I normally just like listen to music, stretch out a bit. I definitely like took some more time just to, like visualize what I was gonna do and like my plan out there. Yeah.
So what's the format of the contest for those who didn't watch or don't know?
Double or nothing is you get 4 double ups, and then 4 people advance into the final round, where they get 4 more double ups just to try to like one up their trick. But there is the format where the best trick of the day wins. So it doesn't like for example, I did the triple flip in the semifinals and I did a double back roll in the finals, but the triple is what won the contest.
Yeah.
So just best trick of the day.
So that's it. That's the only winner is best trick though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was the other 10,000 for? Because there was 20,000, right?
Yeah. So it's winner takes all, 10,000 for first place, and then there was a $10,000 bounty on a triple flip.
There was. Yes. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Okay, so when you land the triple, and it was first tee, right?
Second
tee. Okay,
yeah,
so
dude. First attempt was the worst attempt I've ever had in my life.
I didn't even see that one.
Dude, it was bad.
So second tee though, of the 4 double ups, second try. Does it go full riding order and then back through the full riding order again? And then
wait, say that again.
So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all the way through, and then back through all the way again.
No. So everyone hits 4 double ups at a time.
Oh, so it's you do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, one rider goes out, hits 4 dubs, done. Like, done for the day.
Sorry, I was at yard sale, so I wasn't fully watching the double or nothing contest.
Big cable guy.
Well, I'd love to be at double or nothing, but it was scheduled at the same time as yard sale. So, so when you land that on the second try, the contest is pretty much over, right?
I mean, I don't want to say
no one's
that.
gonna one up the triple, like.
I don't know. Someone could, but like.
What do you think would up the triple?
Another triple.
But who else would be? Was there anyone
so
there?
Actually, you know Kai Ditch.
Yeah.
So he went out. He was 7th rider of the day. He went out right after me and tried triples.
Really?
Sick. So I guess he's been trying it.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
He showed me a couple of videos. He's gotten pretty close to it.
Is he trying triple back roll too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So he actually went on and tried it right after me. But then I don't know what would happen in the situation, because. Like, say I landed the triple and then he was to land the triple. I don't know.
I feel like they'd have to up another 10K for both of you guys, for sure.
Know. We'd see.
Hopefully we'll find out in the future if that happens.
But yeah, I mean, I think when I landed, I think I pretty much knew what the outcome of the day was going to look like.
And everybody else has got to be super hyped, right?
Dude, it was insane.
It's not about winning for them at that point. Like, history has been made in the sport. So
no, everyone, like, dude, all the riders were so hyped for me. It was awesome to like share that moment with some of my best friends.
Yeah.
For sure.
And what's it mean to you to do this at a double or nothing contest, which is like one of the pinnacles of boat riding right now and has been for a while? What's it mean to you to do it here?
Dude, I said over and over, like, I was so happy that I didn't land it. Like the weeks prior to the contest, I was getting so close to it. And I'm so happy that I didn't land it before the contest. Cause to be able to put it down in the contest, like the very first one ever, so insane. And like thank you to PB, Red Bull, like everyone that helped put it on. Like it was wild, dude, for sure.
Parks have any words for you after you stomped the triple?
Dude, Parks was hype. It was sick. It was, yeah, dude. I felt the love for sure.
Yeah, super jacked. I think all of wakeboarding was hyped. I mean, you see stuff like this is like, whether it's done on the cable or on the boat, it's like it transcends the entire sport of, I would say, water sports. Like, this is something that's so huge for all of water sports. Yeah. But like cable wakeboarding, boat wakeboarding, like everyone was just hyped. It took over the internet for a few days, which is super awesome to see.
Yep. No, thank you. It's insane.
Yeah, we'll move on to the triple. The future is to grab it, sounds like, so that's awesome. Speaking of grabs, what's your favorite grab?
Probably, dude, what if it's nuclear? Backhand nose.
Okay.
Or is that seatbelt? I don't even know the difference between seatbelt and nuclear, to be honest.
With wakeboarding, it's kind of tough because it's sometimes I feel like people get it super confused with like in the middle of a spin, they'll be like, it's seatbelt or it's nuclear. It's this or the other. So I think backhand front is nuclear, front hand back is seatbelt.
Yeah. Probably one of my favorite tricks is like nuclear, like back roll to blind.
Okay.
Or tantrum to blind is fun too.
So getting up on the end of the board there though.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Wake pants, yes or no?
Ooh. On boat?
Just wake pants, yes or no?
I don't know, dude. Do you know JK Mullins?
Yeah.
He's kind of steezy with it. Most people on boat, I'd say no. Cable is sick, dude. Who's the guy that rocks like the full fits, like the full track fits?
Tobias?
Yeah,
Michelle?
Yep.
Or Michael, yeah.
Honestly, that's pretty steezy.
Yeah, it is pretty steezy.
I don't know about on the wake though. I mean, I could care less. I'll just do my own thing, but
you're not gonna dominate pairs, what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
Love everyone. Do your thing.
Let's jump into early days at T Herm. Let's run through the very early days. So where are you from?
Fort Wayne, Indiana. So
okay.
It's like 2 hours north of Indy.
And you got into wakeboarding super early.
Yeah.
I mean, not many people get into it earlier than you, I feel like. So when did you first start wakeboarding and how did that kind of happen?
Yeah, I think I first got up when I was 6 years old, like 5 or 6. And my dad just kind of did it as a hobby. My grandparents lived on the lake my entire life, so we'd just go up to the lake a lot. And then, I guess one day my dad just got me on a wakeboard and then kind of never looked back. And it was hard, like being in the Midwest, really short summers and everything. But I think as like the years progressed, the more and more time we spent up at the lake and the more I got to wakeboard, and it just kind of grew from there.
So what lake was your grandparents on? And you said that was like an hour away? Yeah,
it was called Dallas Lake. Yeah, it was probably about like an hour away from where our house was. And any lake in Indiana, we were an hour away. Okay. So anytime we went to wakeboard, it was at least an hour drive.
Dang. And what boat was that you got started on? Very first one?
Dude, I think my grandparents' pontoon.
Love it.
Probably.
Love it.
I'm almost positive. It had to have been their pontoon for sure.
Okay, so how's that snowball though? Like was your dad into wakeboarding at all or no?
Like he did like 180s and stuff. He tried to toe side back roll one time. It was sick, but he never did a flip or anything like that. But like wake to wake 180s.
Okay, yeah, just cruising around.
Yeah, and then after a while, then we got my dad got a boat and stuff, and then just try to ride as much as possible.
What age was that first boat that your dad got? Do you know?
I don't know, maybe like probably not long after that.
Okay.
Probably when I was like 7 or 8.
Okay, so right after that, you guys are going to the lake quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And what boat was that first one?
I think it was like a green. It was an old Centurion, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're still really young at this time, but do you remember like the difference of riding behind a pontoon and then your parents get an actual ski boat or wakeboard boat?
Dude, I mean, I was so young, like I don't even remember that stuff, honestly, for real.
Okay.
Yeah. And at that level when you're just like carving around and stuff, like
nothing really sticks in your brain super well.
For sure.
Yeah. But you're doing it a lot at a young age.
Yeah.
Throughout this time.
Mm-hmm.
What other sports are you into, throughout your early years?
Dude, I grew up doing everything, playing. Probably the biggest one was baseball, soccer for a little bit, basketball. I scored like 5 points the whole season. That was so bad. YMCA basketball.
You think it was a height thing or what?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I didn't do too well. But yeah, and then actually when I got into middle school, I wrestled for like a long period of my life. Okay. Which was sweet, and like all throughout high school.
So let's talk about wrestling a little bit because you were pretty good at it, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I would say in like the Midwest is pretty big in wrestling. I was all right.
Okay. And when did you wrestle until?
So I wrestled from 6th grade until through my junior year of high school. So I didn't wrestle my senior year.
Okay.
That was a whole thing. Because my junior year of high school was like definitely my best year of wrestling. I think I don't even know. I think my record was like 36-8 or something on the season. But it was like easily the best year I've had. And I was like telling my coach, I was like, oh, like I want to like grind in this off season. I want to get ready for next year. And summer came around and kind of the same thing happened with wakeboarding. And I got so stoked on wakeboarding. And I was like, oh, like I don't even want to wrestle my senior year. Like I want to do online school. I want to go to Florida. And I knew, like I always knew all along that I wanted to move to Florida for wakeboarding. And I knew that I wasn't going to wrestle in college.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering. Were you at any point where you could have got like a scholarship or anything, or?
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly have no like. I think senior year is probably when like all that stuff comes. So nobody reached out to me or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I like brought it up to my parents. I was like, hey, like, because at this point, all throughout high school, I did first semester in school so I could wrestle, and then second semester I'd switch to online school and go down to Florida and stuff to wakeboard. So then I talked to my parents and I was like, my senior year I want to do all online school and just go to Florida and train for wakeboarding all the time. And my dad was pretty against it because I think in high school he ran track and he didn't run his senior year, and he was like I think he regrets it. He was like, you're gonna regret it. I was like, dude, like I'm not wrestling in college. Like I'm not gonna care if I miss out on 1 year.
Yeah.
So.
Did you do any other sports growing up? I mean, like, were you into snowboarding at all, or?
Oh yeah, snowboarding. We went to my other grandparents on my mom's side. They had a cabin up in Michigan, so we would go to Michigan a decent amount and snowboard. And I also competed in snowboarding.
Okay.
Nothing like Finn Bullock style of it.
Yeah.
I do little comps. It was sick.
And what was it about wakeboarding that you liked the most compared to all these other sports?
Snow, dude. I don't know if I could be a pro snowboarder. I'm not a big fan of the cold. But I don't, dude. It's just like kind of wakeboarding's kind of just all I've known since I was like a little kid. Just spending time on the lake with all your best friends and your family, just having a good time, pushing each other to be the best you can be. So can't beat
a good day on the water.
Yeah.
So
always keeping it fun too, for sure.
Still kind of staying with those younger years. You're still young now, but really young. You linked up with Chris Laskey.
Yep.
So
legend.
Run through that.
Yeah. I probably started working with Chris when I was like 9 years old, I want to say. And Chris Laskey is the coach that coached Mike Dowdy, Kyle Mack in snowboarding, if you've heard of him. So now Chris lives in Colorado and runs the Vail snowboard team. But yeah, he coached me wakeboarding since I was like 9 to probably like 15 years old, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah. Game changer though. Game changer. It's so sick.
Every summer kind of spent with him?
Yeah, and a lot of it too is he lived about 3 hours from me up in Michigan. And my dad would basically, in the summer, he would take me there, drop me off for like the whole week, and then just come get me at the end of the week. But we'd ride like 3 times a day, like every day. So it was solid.
So where in Michigan is this?
It's called Brighton, Michigan.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I would literally wakeboard, ride a skateboard to Subway and get a sandwich, and then just come back every day. I haven't. Oh, I guess like snowboarding. I talked about going to Michigan.
So you would go up for like the week. Would you just stay with him then, or what?
Yeah. Him and his girlfriend.
So is that a typical like camper thing to do, or did you guys kind of work that out with him together?
No, not many people. Like a couple. You know Noah Wildman.
Yeah.
So Noah and Bo Wildman, they would do the same thing sometimes, but really like just us 3, maybe some kids like along the way, but
okay. But did he have a wakeboard camp, or like how does?
Yeah, he would have like other clients come like throughout the day and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
And would you help coach any of that, or was that just like you're just
I
learning?
was young. I guess
at super young days, but
no, yeah.
So your parents were all in the sense of like you seemed to be into it pretty early, but I mean at 9 years old, were you like asking your parents, "Hey, I just want to do this all day every day," or were they like, "Hey, you're pretty good, and we're going to put some money and time behind you to keep pursuing the competitive side of this"?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my parents definitely helped out a ton along the way throughout like coaching, going to contests, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think I was really stoked on it just since day one. But then also they definitely pushed me for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had some time on the Monster Army.
Yeah, dude.
What is the Monster Army?
Well, the Monster... Dude, I don't even know. It's like a amateur like Monster Energy team. I don't even know how old I would have been. Like, I don't like
super
13.
Young. Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, not super young.
But Tyler Worrell.
Yeah.
Tyler Worrell and I got on it, dude, and they put up a whole budget for us to make this video. Did you watch that video? Yeah. It was so sick. But there's actually like incentives, like if you got on podiums and stuff, they'd pay you.
Oh, really?
Like, I mean, it's like not like probably like $100 or something like that, you know, because it's like little kids. And then they basically like send you like merch and like a case of Monsters a month. But dude, right when Tyler and I did it, they sent us each like 10 cases. It was so sick. And I was like passing them out in school and stuff.
I didn't know that there was actually like anything more than just like you tag Monster Army and that's it. Like I didn't know there was any incentives to that.
Yeah, like well, actually, I don't even know, because I think I don't know. I think they owed me like $400 or something, but I don't know if we ever saw it actually. I don't know.
You signed a contract, or your parents signed a contract with you with them, or no?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you just kind of talked to someone.
Anything. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to like sign. I think you literally just go on the website and you can sign up for it.
Oh, you sign up.
Like I think they have to approve you, but I think it's pretty easy.
Is it still around? Is it still a thing?
Yeah, they still do it. They like, I know like they stopped doing wakeboarding stuff though, but I know they're like big into like BMX, and I still see like some snowboarders.
Okay.
Some Monster Army stuff, yeah.
Damn, I was gonna say if there would be another bounty for the triple, you could have signed up and gotten some incentives for the triple. How big would you say, and how important would you say Chris Laskey in that whole situation was in your riding?
Dude, huge. Like, I mean, I can't even tell you how many tricks I learned. Like first mob, first flip, first three, like literally first everything. He was there and he was driving the boat and he was coaching, you know. So yeah, huge. Like, I love you, Chris. If you're watching this, you're a legend. Yeah, huge push. And I mean, I probably spent more time on him with him on the boat than anyone ever, for sure, easily.
Yeah, I mean, 3 times a day all summer for years and years on end.
Sure.
It's a lot for sure.
Yep.
The Midwest has produced quite a bit of boat talent specifically. I mean, some cable talent too. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you've got names like Megan, Jamie, Gunther, Dowdy. I'm sure there's tons others that I could rattle off. But
yeah.
I mean, why do you think that is, that there's some crazy talent coming out of the Midwest when there's a lot of states where you can wakeboard year round?
Yeah, I think honestly, I had like, when I was younger, I feel like I drived a lot, like pushed my riding a lot harder because I lived in the Midwest, because all these kids in Florida are able to wakeboard year round. And so like, I got to go as hard as I can and learn as many tricks as I can during the summer to keep up with these guys, you know? And I feel like I did a pretty good job of that when I was younger, like going to this contest and keeping up with the kids that lived in Florida year round. Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it.
You're forced to become better faster.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. You've worked with Dowdy a bit. When was the first time you met Dowdy? And then when was the first time you kind of started riding with him?
Yeah, I mean, I probably met Dowdy when I was a little jit running around a contest site asking for his autograph. But then when I moved down here when I was 18, just started riding with him some, going, hanging out at his house, and working with him.
So he probably has his G then.
Yeah,
in his backyard.
Yeah.
And so how's that work? Do you just kind of message him and say, "Hey, I'm down in Florida now. Can I come ride with you?" Like what? I mean, how do you connect and start riding?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of how it went. And I think the year before I moved to Florida, I think I went and stayed at his house for like a week or so with him and some of those other boys like Parker Swope and Cody Honeycutt. And then the next year when I moved down here, just trying to find people to ride with. So probably just hit him up.
Yeah.
Yo, Dowds. Take me out, bro.
Dowdy is a very driven person. Super motivated.
Beast.
He's landed a ton of tricks.
Yep.
Won a bunch of contests. Did he rub a lot off on you in the sense of like, hey, how to approach your wake career, how to approach learning tricks, like all that stuff?
Yeah, so like during the whole Wake U thing, he really pushed like the mindset side of it and like had us doing like visualization, like meditating, like watching what we eat, all that sort of stuff. So like within his app, there was like a little like beta program that like me and Parker Swope and Cody Honeycutt, we were all trying it out, and like every day there was like stuff to do like that.
Okay, so stuff outside of wakeboarding.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how I want to approach this timeline because you moved down to Florida at 18, right?
Yeah.
So did you ride in any junior pro events before then?
No.
Okay.
So I would have finished. So I moved down here in February. So yeah, the previous year was already wrapped up. So the first year I moved down here was my year going into pro. Okay,
let's talk about the decision to move down because you said your dad was maybe kind of leery about it. How's that? How do you approach that conversation of saying, hey, I'm going to go all in on wakeboarding, move down to Florida and do the damn thing? Yeah, 'cause, I mean, they were already open to the whole online school thing because I was doing that like second semester and going down there. I think he was just trying. I think he was just trying to make sure that I wouldn't regret not wrestling,
And then I think he kind of understood that like I'm gonna move to Florida eventually. Like I might as well start working on this wakeboarding thing a year early, you know, get ahead of the ball. So yeah, once he was on board, I think like my 18th birthday, it was like a couple days after, like bags were packed and we drove down. It was sick.
Okay. And so what's your living arrangements like down here?
So I moved in. That's like, I didn't really like know that many pros like personally. So I didn't have anyone to hit up to like go move into a house really. Like maybe I would have tried, but I moved in with Tyler Worrell and then another buddy Camden in a house at UCF just because they were going to UCF.
Okay, so not on the lake though.
No, not on the lake. Yeah. So still at this point, I haven't lived on a lake my entire life. Always had to drive like an hour, and still like in Orlando, I mean, it's so much easier to wakeboard. Still had to drive like at least 30 minutes to get a ride.
Okay, so what's that riding situation look like? You're living in with those boys in UCF.
Yeah,
where are you riding?
I mean, riding with honestly, whoever. A lot of people. I rode with Nick Rappa a lot when I first moved down. Waking up at like 5 a.m., getting on his boat by 6.
You start early?
Oh yeah, he always starts early. He's a grinder. But yeah, I rode with Nick a lot, and dude, anybody that had a boat that was wanting to take my gas money.
Just kind of bouncing around. So do you show up? You show up with gas cans, or you show up with the cold hard cheddar bisque?
No. I show up with gas cans all the time for sure. Can't show up with no cans. It's whack. But yeah, and then I think by the end of the season, I was riding with Corey a lot, going to their house, and that's when Jake Hill lived there. So I started actually hanging out with Jake Hill a lot, and he had a G. And then obviously it's Corey's house, so Corey was in the mix, and then we just basically started riding like every day. And I was like, yo, like when my lease is up, like let me move in this thing. And then yeah.
So that's what happened next? Yeah.
So it was like a year later when my lease was up at the UCF house, I moved into Corey's.
Okay, let's talk about Junior Pro Tour for a little bit. So I haven't followed the Junior Pro Tour all too well. Do they still do it to this day?
Yeah, like the Malibu stops.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in Junior Pro, it was the Junior Pro Tour was put on by the Malibu Riders Experience. It was like 4 or 5 stops, and now the PWT has a whole juniors division. Okay. So when I was in juniors, PWT didn't have a division.
Just pro men's.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. And so I guess me not being a super competitive wakeboarder, what's it like at all these Junior Pro stops?
Dude, it was sick. Like it was just all your boys, like you're literally just 16 running around having fun, like going to all these different places and just going to ride and have fun with all your best friends. It was sick.
So is there like a qualification from this Junior Pro Tour to get on to the Pro Tour eventually, or like what's that landscape look like as you progress along?
Are you saying like do you have to do like a certain placing or something to get on the PWT?
Yeah.
No, so like it's completely separate. So like the one that I did was like all these Malibu stops, so it had nothing to do with like Pro Tour, like Super Pro Tour.
It's just the place for people your age and experience to ride.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, completely different. When I first went into Pro, there was like an online qualifier that I had to do to get into the Pro Tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Gotcha. So you're riding the Junior Pro. I mean, how many years, I guess, were you riding the Junior Pro for?
Well, I think you go Junior Pro when you're like 14.
Okay.
And then, I probably rode it for like 3 or 4 years then stepped up to Pro.
Did you catch a couple dubs in there?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No. Okay. My last year in Junior Pro, like the year before I moved down to Florida, it was like my best. I won like 3 out of the 4 stops on the Junior Pro Tour. So won like the overall. Then I won nationals and then didn't win worlds. I think I got 3rd at worlds. I was so bummed. But yeah. Okay. Best year by far though, so I was so motivated. And then went pro that next year.
Okay. And so before you go pro, are you getting any attention from any sponsors at this point? Anyone flowing any product or anything like that?
No, not like I was like back when you said like the Monster Army stuff, I was also getting stuff from like Fox.
Yeah.
Other than that, but like at this time, like Ronix was just giving me awards and stuff.
Okay, but nothing. You're not in talks with any like.
No other companies like going into pro or stuff like that.
Keep moving through this. Like, you're 20 now, turning 21 soon.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in your young and like hungry phase of your career. Obviously, you just landed a triple. So, what does it mean to like keep you relevant in action sports right now? I want your like younger view on what you need to do in action sports these days to stay relevant.
Yeah. I mean, I think I definitely have goals and dreams to, you know, be on top and win contests and win tours and all that sort of stuff. But also now there's like a different side of it. Like you got to be strong on social media. Like if you look at Steel, that's what I really, by like the end of all this and like the end of my career, I want to be like kind of in like a position like that, like doing a lot of like social stuff. It'd be really cool. Yeah, there's a whole different way like a bunch of people approach it, but yeah.
Okay, so I do want to dive into it. I think now's a good time to dive into social media a little bit. You are someone who leans into it like pretty hard, I would say, in terms of like TikTok, Instagram, like doing kind of everything, I don't mean to use the word kind of corny, cheesy, but like doing the corny, cheesy TikTok stuff that gets the views.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's also riders who like don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
So do you think, I guess, what's the importance of doing that stuff rather than not?
I mean, first things first, like every single company nowadays, like it's switching to more of a thing where like more of a social push than it is like winning contests. I feel like now I do think that stuff is important, and I totally understand companies that are like, we want the best person on the pro tour or whatever, you know, which is sweet. But I think also a lot of companies now don't care about that as much. Yeah. And there's more of a social push. Like if you're bringing in views, whatever, like we're going to put you on, for sure.
Yeah. Cause your reach is like you, right? No longer a bunch of other stuff combined. It's like, what can you do on your own platform? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So are you consciously building that up of like, hey, I know how important this is. I need to build on my social platforms. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I'm honestly, I'm kind of been slacking a little bit. I need to, the TikTok's so sick. I love TikTok. I've been posting, like more like personality stuff, like me, like talking, and people seem to like that. Just kind of show like some personality and like connect with the audience more. Is that tough to do, to start getting in front of the camera and kind of? Yeah, like it's not too bad. I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with it. I feel like I'm like a pretty outgoing person anyways in general, so it's not too bad. But I also think it's something that the longer you do it, like just like the better you're going to get with it. Naturally. More comfortable, yeah. Yeah, but sure. I really want to do, my plan is October, I want to do 3 TikToks a day, all of October. So we'll see. 3 talks a day, 3 talks a day. Where are you going to come up with the ideas for all that content? Dude, I've got it. Got it all in my notes, got ChatGPT for you. Got a whole plan, bro. Back to the competitive side of things. You start a lot of your passes with a double flip. Yeah. Why is that? Dude, honestly, actually, so my first pro contest, I started out, I thought it would be cool to open up with a double back roll, like very first trick, and like the very first pro contest I did. And then from there, I kind of just stuck with it. And I think like the first contest, the Masters I did, where I did that, I think people were like, whoa, that was sick. So I just kind of kept doing it. But honestly, that's honestly the easiest trick in my pass. The double flip? Yeah. Or double back roll? Yeah, double back roll, for sure. What's a pass looking like for you right now, trick-wise? Yeah, like 2 double flips, 2 mob 5s, 9, like back 7 or rewind, and then like a mob. Okay. I could go like all mob 5s and stuff. I mean, that's like always the plan for like finals, when I ride in finals and stuff. Step it all the way up. Yeah. So you have quite a few doubles in your trick book right now. Are you more of a flip guy or a spin guy, would you say? I think flip for sure. Definitely more comfortable with flipping, and I enjoy it a lot more. Even like mobs as well. Like I'd rather do like a KGB 5 than a cab 9, I think. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, in terms of like I said, you're kind of in the heat of your career right now, so you're still learning a bunch of tricks, learning a bunch of grabs, all this stuff. What's the progression of your riding for you, do you think, going to look like going forward? Yeah, I mean, I've got a whole whiteboard in my room with tricks that I want to do. Definitely, I can toe side spin, but not like crazy comfortable with it. So definitely need that in the run, at least like contest wise. And then from there, man, tried cab 10 a bunch, double roll to blind a bunch, double front roll a bunch. Double front roll? Yeah, dude. Okay. Sounds like a knee breaker, honestly. Yeah.
the goodie slapper. Slap the boys up a lot. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff I want to do for sure.
Okay. So you've done the triple back roll. Any ideas on any other triples you thought about or no?
I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable with double cab, and some of them I do feel like I flip them really fast. I've never done a double cab off of double up though. So that's something that I haven't played around with yet. So I don't know. If
you were to try another triple, would it be triple cab or what?
Yeah. If I was to, triple cab for sure. Okay. Yeah. The other one's like, yeah. Tantrum, double tantrum. I don't like that trick.
Why not?
Dude, it's just like an ankle breaker, face water, eye peeler.
I feel like every time you watch Harley do them, like he's cleaned them up a lot now, but I feel like in the early days of him doing them, it's exactly that. Yeah. Like ankle breaker, dude, face going right in the water.
So sketch. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely the least favorite. And then double toe is like, even thinking about like a triple toe is gnarly.
Getting the edge for that seems like it'd be pretty tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Any park riding in your future? I know you've done a little bit, but
actually, like 2 winters ago, I honestly rode a lot of cable just over at ODub because I would just get bored. No, I was actually building the docks out there at ODub. So after work, I would literally just go for a shred. But it's more of a for fun thing. Never thought about like competing or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't like falling on the cable because then you have to walk.
Lazy ass boat riders.
Dude, but like, I'm not even joking. I was just like, I don't try anything new when I ride cable just because like, I don't know. I don't want to fall. But I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like though, once you get to a certain level of the cable, like, yeah, you will fall, but you can try a lot of tricks without falling because you have the handle and you're like so low to the, I don't know. That's my personal view on it. But
yeah, for sure.
So you mentioned working. So I feel like a lot of people view the pro wakeboard dream as like you move to Florida, you get sponsored, and you just kind of soak up the sun.
Yeah.
Out. And maybe there are a lot of riders who do just kind of get paid and soak up the sun and not do a lot.
For sure.
But do you work as well as wakeboard?
Yeah. I mean, ever since the day I moved out, dude, when I was moving down here, I used to DoorDash for boat gas. Even like when I was first trying the triple with Dowdy, I'm not even joking. There were days that I literally had to DoorDash at night to have money to ride the next day. And yeah, I think now, like the past 2 years, at least in the summer, like I'm able to like live off wakeboard stuff through like contest winnings and all that stuff. But I've always kept a job at least in like the winter time. Like I built boat docks all winter 2 years ago, and then this winter I started working out at the boarding school, and even through the summer I still worked out at the boarding school a lot. So yeah.
So always, just I guess both of those, boarding school, you're like helping out with coaching and stuff.
Yep.
With Travis there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coaching there.
And then what was you said you're building docks too?
Yeah.
How's that all
building
get
boat
started
docks.
And what do you do there?
So it's Finn Bullock's stepdad, John Bemis. It's called Docks of Orlando. So they build boat docks. But yeah, they had a big project out at OWC where they redid all the docks and stuff, and I was grinding out there. It was so sick. It was actually because I like to build stuff, and building docks is pretty cool because you can like, ODub's cool because I'll go back there in the future and I can look at it and be like, like I helped build that,
created that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's cool to like see it all come together and like learn how to frame stuff and all that. So
okay. So what about this winter? Any plans? I mean, what do you got in the docket for this winter?
I think just work out at the boarding school a lot, hang out, have fun. Should be getting a boat soon. So
okay.
Yep.
Let's talk Supra. How'd that whole situation, get started and what's that looking like for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think at like the end of last year, probably in like November, started talking to them, and they basically told me that it might be like a little bit of a process, but we're gonna make it happen. So sick though, like super sick. So I think I signed with them in May.
Okay. Yeah. And is this your first kind of paycheck from wakeboarding, not contest
winnings?
winnings?
Yeah.
Okay.
And dude, like the Super guys are so sick, and Super was really like the first company to, step it up and like really show their support for me. So it meant like a whole lot to me, and all those guys are super cool, and I can't thank them enough, dude. Legends.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotta be kind of like when you talk about boat wakeboarders and boat wakeboardings, that's the dream and the goal, right? To get your own boat, however you make that work.
Dude, it was so, cause I went, because Skier's Choice owns Moomba and Supra. So I went to the Moomba shoot as well. And that was like when I first like put like the Super stickers on my board, and I was just standing on the platform at the Moomba shoot, just like looking at my board, and I was like, no way I have a sticker on my board right now. Like, this is so sick. And I just like, I can't thank them enough, dude. Like, best group of guys, so sweet.
Okay, let's talk about, you said you're getting a boat soon.
Yeah.
What boat is it?
Supra SA 550.
Okay, is that the biggest one
they
make?
Yeah, same as what the Polar Pro Tour on.
Okay.
Yep. So it actually just got here yesterday, but they just have to rig up a couple things. So picking her up in a couple days.
You
Sick.
What kind of car do you drive?
Honda Civic, baby.
So how are you gonna get
the
that unit in the backyard?
The 2-door coupe. No, so I mean, we were just talking about this. I think I need to invest in a truck. We'll see. Maybe like early next year, I'll see what the financials are looking like, and maybe get a truck.
So you can yank that puppy around.
Yeah, but I've got Corey, Weston at my house. The neighbors have 2 trucks. Like, there's 4 trucks within like 200 feet of me. So I don't think it's gonna be the biggest problem, but I definitely want a truck anyways. Just like be able to throw stuff in the bed, whatever.
Definitely would be helpful if you're towing a boat around.
Yeah.
How many cold plunges would you say you do a day?
Oh, a day? Actually, like in the summer, like in like peak season, almost every day. At least like just one.
Just one a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big cold plunge guy though.
How long do you go in for? What's the temperature at?
5 minutes at normally like 38 to 40 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a lot. Actually, I haven't done it a lot this year, but Corey and I used to go like cold plunge, hot tub, cold plunge, hot tub. So like 2 rounds. So like that'd be like 2 ice baths.
Yeah.
I haven't done that a lot though this season.
I feel like that'd make my heart explode.
Yeah.
It's kind of gnarly.
It is gnarly. It's sick though, dude. Like, even like some mornings if you go out there, it's the last thing you want to do. That's a big part of it as well. It's like just doing something you don't want to do. But in the morning you just go and like hop in for a minute. It's like it'll wake you up way better than like a cup of coffee or a shower or anything like that, you know?
I'm a big fan of the cold plunge.
Yeah. Big Wim Hof guy.
Yeah, huge Wim Hof guy. All about the breaths.
I saw Wim Hof, Corey and I, when we were in Australia from Moomba. We went to Sydney for this convention that Corey's buddy was speaking at, and Wim Hof did a speech there. So we watched like an hour speech, and he did breath work with the whole crowd. Like, we were frothing it. It was so sick.
No shit. So do you do the Wim Hof breathing method regularly or no?
No. So I don't really. I think Corey does that a little bit. I've never really messed around with that a lot. Yeah.
Just big ice.
Yeah, I followed him forever though, so it was so sick to see him.
That's wild.
Yeah, see him in person.
Big ice bath guy though, huh?
Yeah.
You've had some haircuts that resembled the old bunny rabbit Eminem. So who do you think's a bigger fan of Eminem, you or Trent Stuckey?
Oh, I think Trent Stuckey. I think Trent Stuckey. I mean, I just like his hair.
Let's talk about the squad that you're riding with these days. So you said, are you living with Corey now?
Yeah. So I've lived with Corey almost 2 years now.
Okay. So who do you typically riding with besides him?
Like Corey every day. Cody Honeycutt a lot. My neighbor Graham. Dude, anyone that wants to join the party. Yeah. Ride with Shota a decent amount, especially like in the wintertime, like when Corey's not here. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a bunch of, maybe not a bunch, but there's a few squads in Orlando or the Orlando, Florida area. How do you kind of connect with other squads? Like, obviously there's like the whole La Familia team. Like, do you ride with them at all, or is it's not? Okay.
No, they don't. No, we don't really connect.
Is that? I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious because you have a bunch of pro riders in the same area, and like. Yeah,
I mean, I think like Corey and I ride with a lot of other people, and a lot of new people come in all the time, I feel like. But yeah, I feel like we kind of stick to ourselves, but we also hang out with whoever, ride with whoever.
Just because I don't know, if it was me, I'd be curious just to ride with anyone that I could. Just
100%. Yeah, and I mean, I still do. Like, I'll go over to Jamie Lapina's or whatever, you know.
Okay, I do want to talk about a little bit like how far wakeboarding you think can be pushed, because obviously you just landed a triple and there's been some big spins that have been landed. What do you think the ceiling is? Kind of a 2-part question, I guess. Are the wakes going to continue to get bigger?
Yeah, well, that's what I was just thinking.
So what do you think the ceiling's at right now?
Yeah, obviously the wakes have kept getting bigger, and they've just opened a lot of doors for obviously triple flip. But for in the future, Dude, like, I don't know if weights can get much bigger. Like, they're pretty juiced up nowadays. It's pretty insane. I don't know. I think at 14, I think like toe 14 is possible. Heel 12 is possible. I guess Gunther did toe back 10.
Yeah.
And people have done heel back 10. Yeah.
So do you think 14 is kind of where you're going to see the cap though? In terms of spinning?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
And
Mob 9, dude, I want to see another Mob 9. Like, be sick.
Yeah.
Sammy B with the back Mob 9. Dude, Shota could do a Crow 9, bro. Shota could do a Crow 9. Or Sam could do a Crow 9 as well.
I feel like I haven't seen a whole lot of Shota recently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think both of them totally could. So do you think that the wake size, maybe is going to stagnate now?
Yeah, but I mean, they're already starting to. You're loading them up so much, they're starting to curl over. But I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know the mathematicals on that one.
Personally, I don't know. Maybe it might have been a good idea to have like a regulation on the size of the wake.
Yeah,
it might have been something worth exploring.
Yeah.
But just because I was thinking about it the other day of like, super pipe is capped at 23 feet or something for men's snowboard.
Yeah. Okay.
Could you have built it to 30 feet and gone 65 feet in the air?
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of crazy. 23 feet sounds like it's too much anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure.
Let's talk about the future of you. So you're in the middle of your career right now, landed a big trick. Like, what's this off season, the next season? Like, what are your goals and what's the future hold for you?
Yeah. I mean, I obviously every year so far I've gotten better and better contest results and finishings on the tours and all that sort of stuff. Obviously still looking to just better my riding in general. Getting tricks more consistent, just doing better in contest, and then also want to do tricks I've never done before. Whether it be like 1080s and all that sort of stuff, different double flips. So yeah.
Video part?
Dude. Okay, I've been saying that for the past like 2 years, but I always start filming so late, and then I just end up posting the clips on Instagram. But no, it'd be sick. I think now that I have a boat, it'd be whole lot easier. But I know if I was to do a video part, there's a lot of tricks I want to do, and I know it'd take a little while. So I don't know. It'd be sick though. I've always wanted to do it.
Is it in the plans though? You think? I mean.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. At some point in my career, yeah.
At some point. Okay.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
I think sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure. Like within next 2-3 years, for sure.
I feel like
I just know it'd take it might honestly it'd be sweet to bang it all out in a season, but I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah,
we'd see.
You can take your time, man. Build the hype.
Yeah,
I think
I don't know.
grab triple would be a great ender to that.
Ooh, facts.
I do want to talk about the process of learning a new trick. So you can kind of start at a high level, or you can go, as far into it as you want. But what's the process for you to learn a new trick?
Yeah, honestly, I'd say the biggest, because I learned a lot of the double flips all at the same time basically, and those were, some of them were a battle and some of them were a bit easier. But every time I tried a new double flip, I remember this double cap, for example. I'm cutting out and I'm cutting in, and I'm saying to myself, I'm probably gonna die right now, and it's probably gonna hurt a lot, but it doesn't even matter. I'm just gonna try it. And seriously, I tried it, and it did hurt a little bit, and then just get up and try it again. I think the biggest thing for me is just getting that first one out of the way, and just knowing that there's a possibility that it's going to hurt and whatever, but we have no, to be able to land it, we have to get the first one out of the way. So just go send it. Yeah.
Okay. So not wasting time on that first one is pretty crucial.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I feel like that's kind of an age-old thing with anyone learning tricks is you're going to build it up in your head that it's going to be hard and it's going to be scary and it might hurt. And if you keep delaying it, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, it just builds more and more, for sure.
It's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the technical mumbo jumbo of your board size, stance, rope length, boat speed, weight, all that stuff.
Yeah. So I ride at 75 feet, around 22.5, 22.6 miles an hour, which I feel like is pretty standard. And then my board is a 134, and then my boots are a size 8. little feet. And I put the stance at not at like between 12 and 6, so like 8 and 8. Wait, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are 8. You all the way out, all the way in? What were we talking?
Oh, sorry, one in. One in.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Never
one
tried.
in. Yeah.
Never tried skinny stance?
No, never.
Behind the boat, it doesn't work. Don't worry.
Does it?
I don't know. I've never seen anybody do it
yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some contest passes. What do you think about reverts in a contest pass?
Oh yeah, dude. You're a big hater on that.
I mean, I don't know if hater is the right word. What do you think about reverts in a contest pass?
No, I do think. Yeah, I feel like they don't care about it as much though nowadays. Like compared to like.
Should they care?
Compared to about like a couple of years ago, I feel like they like don't even pay attention to it anymore. But yeah,
because I mean, some people have a lot of reverts, some people have a couple, some people don't really have any. So
yeah,
like,
for sure.
What do you think?
No, I think it is better like composition and just like all together, just like smoother when you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see like a huge problem in having some. I guess like if it's every trick, it's like, all right, bro, like just switch up your tricks. Like you won't have as many.
Change the order of what you're doing here and make it. Power rank these 5 water sports.
Yep.
Wakeboarding, swimming, foiling, slalom skiing, and wake surfing.
Okay. Number 1, wakeboarding, obviously.
Okay. Layup, easy. You got
2, probably. Wait, what was the third one? No, foiling.
Foiling was 3rd, yeah.
What was 4th?
Wake surfing.
Then
you got foiling.
Probably foiling 2nd.
Foiling 2.
Even though I'm very bad at foiling, but I think it's sick. Okay. I want to get better.
Wake surfing, slalom skiing, and swimming.
Oh, I'm gonna say slalom. Slalom's gnarly.
Okay.
It's gnarly, dude. Like it's pretty crazy.
It definitely is.
They get wrecked.
Yeah. They haul ass too, man.
Wake surfing and then surfing. I mean, wake surfing and then swimming. Yeah.
Yeah, swimming. I mean, not really a sport, right? It's just kind of what you do when you're in the water to get somewhere else. So.
Dude, I'm honestly so bad at swimming.
Really?
Yeah. Like I get so tired. Like, all right, get me out of here.
What do you think is going right and like is going good in the wakeboard industry right now? What would you say is like a good thing, someone that's killing it, or something that's killing it that gets you stoked in wakeboarding?
Yeah,
right
dude,
now?
I mean, I think just like the difficulty in tricks is just like mind blowing nowadays. I think it's pretty insane what people are doing, and I can't wait to see more tricks that people do. Like you have 1080s are like common in contest passes now, and Mob 7s. Like Sam's been busting out Crow 7s almost every single contest pass now. Same with like Shota's busted out a lot, and Finn does KGB 7 in some of his passes. It's pretty insane just like the level that it's gotten to and like the difficulty in these tricks and how common they're getting. Yeah, I think that's like the coolest thing.
Just how gnarly.
It's just insane.
Is.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think could be improved upon in wakeboarding right now?
I think just like the contest side of it, like contests back in the day. Like I remember, what was the contest at ODub?
Weight games.
Yeah, weight games. Okay. Weight games. That's what I was thinking of. Dude, just like the shoreline's filled, where like nowadays we don't have many spectators, but they've like they're making a good push. Like the PWT has had like motocross guys out and like BMX guys. It's actually really really cool what they're doing. Definitely not as big as like back in the day for sure though. But
yeah, and we might never get back there, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, and I think social media has like played a big role in that. Like a lot of people just want to watch it from home and stuff like that.
100%. Yeah. So as an athlete, what would you say would be some things that maybe either the athletes could do or event organizers or events could do in general that might kind of bring more eyes to the sport?
Yeah.
Because the riding is sick, right? So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think what the PWT did with like inviting motocross guys and like BMX dudes, skateboarders, it's really cool and definitely like the right step. I think it'd be sick to like if you paired it up with something else, like a big like festival or something like that, like a music festival, and then like, oh, there happens to be wakeboarding over here, so then people just go, kind of pop around.
Make it more of an event rather than just
Yeah, exactly. Like compare it with something else that's like you already know is going to be huge and a lot of people.
Yeah,
And
no matter what, have it as close to the spectator as possible, not super far away.
Yeah.
Speaking of events, you've done a lot of events here on the tour now. What are some of your favorite events that do it right, you love going to, get you hyped to ride competitively?
Yeah. Wakefest. Wakefest is sick. Like the most fun weekend of the whole year. Double or Nothing is super sick because it's like a invite only, super like best of the best contest basically. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else. I think the Masters is pretty cool. Like it was pretty cool to go to the first 2 Masters, and compete there.
Just because kind of like the history around it and
Expect like the rookie my rookie year, I made it to Masters, and that was like one of the best contests I've actually ever ridden in because I made it's only 10 people invited and I made finals, which the finals is only 4 people. So yeah, that's pretty sick.
Get a good shot at a podium. There's only 4 riders.
I know, dude. I think Nick Rappa beat me by like less than a point or something, dude.
We got a Patreon question from John Dryling. He's wondering what you listen to.
Johnny D.
Yeah. So if you want to ask questions to the guests, make sure you join that Patreon, and we can throw him in here. But he's wondering what music you listen to before you ride to get you hyped.
Dude, I'm trying to think of. No, well, I'm kind of all over the place, dude. I was trying to think of what I'd listened to before I did the triple flip over the past weekend because I was playing some T Swift. I was rocking some T Swift, and then I remember I threw on "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus.
Okay, it's a classic.
Oh, classic banger, like top 3 of my favorite songs. And then, but I think right before I went off the dock, I like bumped some like Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of all. I'm all over the place with my music taste.
But to get you,
like best artist all around, Taylor Swift.
It's tough to argue.
Like, do you know? Like she has so many bangers, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, she does. Even from album 1, dude. It's a heater fest for sure.
Teardrops on my guitar. Repeat on repeat.
I'm curious about the Red Bull does some pretty cool shit with their events and with invites that you get a lot of stuff. So like, what is the invite package in terms of
we get something different a little every year at Red Bull Double or Nothing. This year was like a sick poker set with like all the poker chips had like the Double or Nothing logo on them, and then like I think Ethica like puts up some underwear, and Duvin always puts up some like board shorts or something like that. But it's pretty cool. It's cool to get a little package and a little souvenir that you can keep with you forever.
Right.
Just like just remember getting invited to such a cool contest.
Yeah, throwing down the trip.
Yep.
What would you say the reaction's been like to the triple? I mean, I feel like we kind of touched on it, but what's the reaction been to the triple?
From other people?
Yeah.
Dude, like obviously just crazy feedback. Everyone's saying congrats. Dude, just today I finally got through all my iMessages, which is probably about 200 on iMessage, about 100 on Snapchat. So I did the iMessage and Snapchat today. I haven't even touched Instagram. Haven't even touched, like, maybe I touched like a couple of like the personal ones, like some friends or whatever. But yeah, I'll get back. But it's an insane amount of people that like slid into the DM, put it on their story. Like, I'm so thankful for everybody. It's really cool, and I was definitely feeling the love.
Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know other people's careers who have landed these monumental tricks, but I have to imagine it's going to be a catalyst for future endeavors in terms of whether that's sponsors or invites and all sorts of shit like that. So I have to imagine it's going to be a big turning point in your still super young career. I think it's wild that you landed this at 20 years old. Like,
thank you so much, man.
Blows my mind.
Thank you. No, I'm excited to see what the future has in store for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you stomped it. I mean, it doesn't get much cleaner for a triple off a double up than I feel like what you landed, because you're landing for people who don't know, like double ups, you're landing kind of in a rougher water than normal, right?
Yeah, there's still like some little rollers going on for sure.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard, but you didn't butt check it. You didn't put a bunch of hands down. Head didn't hit the water. So
thank you.
It made wakeboarding look pretty gnarly, pretty sick. So I think everyone's super appreciative of that.
Yeah. I think there was a little bobble, but I think the cleanness of the landing was just a little bit of luck.
Yeah,
for sure. I don't know.
Double or nothing
luck.
Dude,
I'm not spotting the landing or anything like that. Like.
Yeah, so as you're coming around on that third one, I mean, is this just kind of like a tuck and you're praying almost?
Well, okay, I know where I'm at in like the rotation of the trip. Like if I'm at like 2 3/4 or like 2.5, but But I have just no clue when I'm gonna hit the water.
Wow.
So that's like, yeah, that's the only thing.
So the age-old adage of like spot your landing just does not apply to, to the triple,
just
to
like,
double up.
Honestly, I think it's one of those tricks that you just have to like, you just gotta huck it, and one time everything's just all gonna align and go in your favor, you know.
Dang.
But yeah.
Love to see it.
Took a while. We got it done though.
So I guess before we wrap this up, was there anybody that besides, was it Kai or Ulf that was trying it? Kai. Was there anybody that you got word of that was trying a triple as well, or is it?
No, I don't think so. And honestly, I didn't expect Kai to be trying it. I thought if anybody else was to try it, it'd be Tyler. I think Tyler has like the best double cabbie in the game right now. And
Yeah.
I think he definitely has the speed to get a triple around. But yeah, I like Kai just sent it the contest. I was like, what? And then everyone was like, oh yeah, he's been trying it. And I was like, no way.
Well, they are filming for a movie, so hopefully it would be sick
we'll
to see
see.
another triple in that movie.
Yeah.
We'll see though. But
for sure.
Is there anyone else you want to thank or anything else you want to touch on or talk about here?
Dude, not really. Dude, that was like seriously like the sickest weekend of my life. So just thank you to everyone that came out to Double or Nothing, or anyone that texted me, congratulating me or whatever. And thanks for having me on the pod.
Dude,
Sick.
absolutely, man.
This is like the sickest week of my life, easily.
Still buzzing off it days
Still
later,
buzzing.
dude.
It's like still unreal, dude. I was telling you before we started this, like I'm like, even at the contest, I was like sitting there just like whatever after, and then I'm like, I just did a triple flip. Like it's insane. Like I forget about it, and I'm like, whoa.
See you back.
Like it happened. Like I did that, but
did the damn thing for sure. How was the after party? Pretty pretty
fun
after?
Yeah, it was sick, dude. Yeah, so we had like a little Red Bull dinner, and obviously I got to bring the belt out. I rolled up to the after dinner with the belt. Had a little dinner and then headed to a bar downtown. I think Red Bull just got like a couple tables and stuff, and it was so sick. I walked in and like all the TVs in the bar were just replaying the triple flip all night long. It was so sick.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they had like a whole bottle service, like sign saying congrats. It was a super fun time. It was just cool to like have that experience with like all my best friends, you know, and just be able to like share that moment with everyone.
Yeah.
Just have like the best day. Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal. So
Yeah,
I feel like once you come down off the high of it, you'll kind of, I don't know. I'm sure you can understand how big it is right now, but it's a big deal in wakeboarding.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Stoked you did it. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Is that wraps?
All that stuff. What was that?
Is that the wraps?
That's the wraps.
Wrapping her
dude.
up?
Yeah, wrapping her up,
Ew.
dude. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys.